Donna, she was watching. I was talking about her behind her back to her face earlier. Donna is watching, and she says 2 nights ago on the History Channel they had a program on the zombie virus. I saw only the last 15 minutes. The CD says it's a zombie virus. Really? What's your I didn't see that. A zombie virus. That's interesting. Let me take you someplace in the old King James. If you have a Bible there in front of you, good for you. If not, shame on you. Leviticus 26 gives a scenario for something that I believe is coming down the road. Leviticus 26 is all about, it's sort of a mirror to Deuteronomy 28. And Deuteronomy 28 talks about, if you keep my laws, hey, I'll be good to you. If you don't, I'm going to break bad on you. And Leviticus 26 says the same thing. And he says here in Leviticus 26, let's see, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Leviticus 26. Here it is. He says in verse 14, "But if you will not hearken unto me, and will not do all these commandments, and you shall despise my statutes, or if your soul abhor my judgments, so that you will not do all my commandments, but you break my covenant, I also will do this unto you, and I will even appoint over you a terror and consumption, and the burning ague, which is a fever, that shall consume the eyes and cause sorrow of heart, and ye shall sow your seed in vain, for your enemies shall eat it." He talks in here about some sort of plague. He says in verse 25, he talks about a pestilence that he's going to send among them. He's going to break the staff of bread, give them famine. You shall eat the flesh of your sons and the flesh of your daughters. This and that and the other. But the interesting thing here that I saw here was the terror, the consumption, and the burning ague that shall consume your eyes. It looks to me like there is a scenario painted in the Scriptures by which a massive plague taking place over the planet. I think that might be what's referred to in Revelation with the pouring out of the vials and the boils and so on. And so anyway, that is that could possibly have something to do with the zombie virus. Let's see here. Let me let me just say this. I've got a lot of emails here, and if you write me one that's this long, I probably won't want to have time to get to it. So kind of cut it down a little bit. Let's see here. Oh my, Clarence Edward Smith. Hi, Clarence. Writes in and says, a Catholic man, and you know what, I normally don't give out everybody's full name, so I apologize for doing that. Now the government knows who you are and where you are and what you're doing. In Matthew chapter 18, he says, a Catholic man claims the KJV teaches purgatory from Matthew 18, verse 23 to 25. Let's read it. Therefore is the kingdom of heaven like unto a certain king, which would take account of his servants. And when he had begun to reckon, one was brought unto him which owed him 10,000 talents. But forasmuch as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, and his wife and children, and all that he had, and payment to be made. You have to really, really, really go twist to get purgatory out of those verses. I'm sorry, it's just not there. Watcher Doyle from Nederland says, hi, Pastor Hoggy. That's my name. Don't wear it out. Could you talk about the tribe of Dan and British Israelism replacement theology? Yes, I don't believe it. British Israelism replacement theology, I have examined this and researched it for years now. It is a biblical excuse to be a racist, is what it is. And it's a biblical excuse to hate everybody in the world except your white Caucasian skin and put a spiritual wrapping on it. And listen, and you say, well, I'm that way. Well, I'm sorry. But British Israelism replacement theology says that everybody that's white Caucasian, you're the real Jews, okay? And God will only bless you. And I just don't get into that stuff. I don't have time to really, I don't have time or the brain power to deal with it today. But I may in the future. Watcher Doyle, appreciate that. Terry says, my understanding is that eating GMO food will modify your DNA. I don't pretend to understand all of it and plan to research it. I'll get back to y'all later. Now, I will say that I do believe that there are things, and I can't prove it. I'm not a genetic scientist. I'm not a biologist. I'm a guy with a Bible. But I do believe that just as, you know, too much sun can damage things in your body, I think that eating some things is not all the modifications that they're making that can't be good for us, okay? You know, is it damaging our DNA? I think it's possible, okay? But our body, you know, does have sort of a little system of kind of fixing that, or at least, you know, helping it out. But is eating this food that's available right now, and let me qualify this. The food that we have on the shelves right now, as of this instant, is it modifying our DNA so that we're turning into non-humans? I don't think so. But I think that is coming. Okay, I think that's coming. I appreciate that comment, Terry. Hi, Pastor Mike. This is Stephen. On 11/11/11, a movie named J. Edgar is coming out worldwide. J. Edgar Hoover, the former director of the FBI. Hoover was a 33-degree Freemason. If you have evidence on that, I'd like to see it. I'm not doubting you. I'm just saying I need evidence. And so there's several movies. That happens to be on a Friday, and that's a big movie day, and there are several movies coming out that's going to be interesting. One's called The Immortals, and we'll be watching that. Let's see here. Oh, okay, very good. Brian, concerning Lori's question, Mark 7, verse 18, and he saith, are you so without understanding also? Do you not perceive that whatsoever thing from without entereth into the man, it cannot defile him, because it entereth not into his heart, but into the belly, and goeth out into the draught, purging all meats. And he said, that which cometh out of the man, that defileth a man. And I agree with that, because everything that I'm seeing from the New Age and from the mystery cults and everything else, they're all talking about how you've got something on the inside of you, like this God or this whatever it is, that needs to come out. And I think this verse in Mark 7:18 is a direct relation to that New Age philosophy, that there's something in us that needs to come out. And I do agree with that, Brian, and I appreciate that comment. Let's see here. Candace writes in and says, hi, I'm so excited to have caught the program while it's live. My off-topic question is about hearing from God. She says, I come from a Pentecostal background, but have gone back to reading the KJV exclusively, yay, to find out how to live and to serve God. But now that I have repudiated what I had previously taught, I have no idea how to be led of the Spirit or how to pray in the Spirit, as Paul tells us. Example, I have a big decision to make. I have considered the principles involved and any promises of God. How do I find out which way God would have me go? How do I know if the promise I think applies really does and would be fulfilled in my life? How do I hear from God or hear a word from God? Candace. Thank you for your help, Candace. Candace, I love you.